So I'm excited to go through this because it's something we teach all our practitioners that we coach in functional medicine, and it's our foundation. And when it comes to weight loss, it really is a bit of a trend going on at the moment with all these medications. And we are seeing, as functional medicine practitioners, health going in the wrong direction with all these medications. So tonight, I'm going to go through the hidden genetic reason you can't lose weight even with the perfect diet and exercise. And really, it's the simple truth on why all these diets fail and all these medications are going to create a massive chronic disease in the future. So, bottom line is, have you ever wondered why your friend can eat pizza every night, stay skinny, while you gain weight just by looking at a donut? Does that sound familiar? Well, today I'm going to reveal the hidden secret that explains this mystery. It's like having a different operating system running inside your body, and most people don't even know which version they have, which is crazy because it's our DNA, but we never got an instruction manual. So, why am I educating you about weight loss and genetics? Think of weight gain like smoke coming from a house. Most people just try to blow away the smoke, but I want to find out the fire that's causing it, the root cause. See, weight gain isn't the real problem. It's just your body's alarm going off. The real troublemakers behind the scenes are the blood sugar imbalances, the energy issues, the brain fog, the chronic fatigue, the hormone issues, the autoimmune issues, the thyroid problems, high cholesterol, joint issues, and our inevitable aging. So weight gain at the end of the day is a symptom of deeper underlying root causes. And the problem is when you get nutrition and exercise wrong, you're going to make everything worse. And I'm going to hope to explain to you in layman's terms how that works. So the bottom line is there's three key factors. Here's the thing. Your success comes down to three simple pieces of the puzzle. First, what you eat is like choosing the right fuel for your car. Second, when you eat is like knowing the perfect timing to fuel up. If you've just fueled up your car and then you go fuel it up again in 5 minutes, well, that's clearly doesn't work. And third, how you move is like finding the right key to start your engine. Now, get these three things right, and you've got the winning formula. You're going to win the race. Miss even one, and you're like a race car driver with sugar in the gas tank. It's not going to happen. So let me tell you a true story. Debbie and her friend, Debbie and Jane, two friends who really became science experiments without knowing it. They started the exact same diet on the exact same day, like two identical cars starting a race. Same meals, same workouts, same determination. But after 4 months, it was like one car had a turbo engine and the other had a broken transmission. Debbie lost 4 pounds, Jane lost 30. Debbie thought she was doing something wrong, obviously. But the truth is, they were running on completely different internal software, different genetics. Same effort, different genetics, different results. And this is the key principle of really what we're going through tonight. So what are genes anyway? Can't see our genes. What are they? Your genes are like the recipe book that came with your body. You just never got that recipe book when you were born. Just like how a chocolate cake recipe tells you exactly how much flour and sugar to use, your genes tell your body exactly how to process food, burn fat, build muscle, and respond to exercise. It's your personal cookbook that's been writing itself for thousands of years. That's what genes are. So your body's unique instruction manual, that's really what it is. And everybody's different. So imagine you bought a new gadget, but instead of getting the right instruction manual, you got one for a completely different device. You bought an iPhone, you got the damn Samsung instruction manual. That's exactly what happens when everyone follows the same diet advice. Your body came up with its own unique cookbook, guidebook, but we're all trying to use someone else's manual. The keto diet, the paleo diet, the carnivore diet, any next trend that comes up on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever. It's like trying to assemble IKEA furniture with instructions for a completely different table. Frustrating and doomed to fail. Does that make sense, sound familiar as you've been trying these things over the years? So what diets have you tried that did not work? Let me guess. You've been on the diet roller coaster. Keto, paleo, intermittent fasting, vegan, carnivore. It's like being a detective trying to solve a mystery, but you keep using the wrong clues. Each diet failure isn't your fault. So don't beat yourself up. You just haven't found the approach that speaks your body's language yet. That's the key word, yet. That's why you're here tonight. So now I want to introduce you to the 3 genetic troublemakers that might be sabotaging your weight loss. Think of them as sneaky saboteurs, working behind the scenes, making your life difficult without you even knowing they exist. Here is your first villain, the fat storage gene. It's like AI is so amazing today. This is our fat storage genie holding all the fat in your body. How cool is that? Imagine your fat cells like storage containers. Some people have containers with loose, easy open lids that release fat easily. But if you have storage genes, your containers have super tight, child-proof lids that refuse to open no matter how hard you try. Now, the scary part is 1 in 3 people are dealing with these stubborn containers, these fat storage genes. That's a lot of people. Making weight loss feel like trying to open a pickle jar. Look at this picture on the right with butter on your hands. It's never going to happen. And that's 1/3 of the population. Here comes villain number 2, the sugar craving gene. You guys will know sometimes if you have these. Picture your brain like a radio. Some people get gentle, quiet suggestions for sweets, like soft background music. Kind of disappears into the background. You don't even know it's there. It's just kind of part of the environment, really not influencing you much at all. But if you have craving genes, the sugar craving genes, your brain blasts sugar requests like a heavy metal concert at full volume. It's all consuming. It's bouncing you about. There's nothing you can do but to respond. It's not about willpower. You're literally getting different messages if you have this gene. And again, it's not your fault. It's genetic, but there's a way to get through that and to deal with it. So you can have the same willpower, different genetics, different programming, different results. Okay, and here's our third villain, the exercise backfire gene. Now, a lot of you are going to resonate with this. This one's really sneaky. Imagine your metabolism like a campfire. For most people, exercise is like adding logs to make the fire burn brighter. But for some unlucky people, cardio is like dumping water on the flames instead. You're working hard, but actually slowing down your fat burning furnace. The more you train, the harder it is to lose fat. You train more, the more stubborn it becomes. And there's a reason for that physiologically. And part of that is due to this specific gene. It's like driving with the emergency brake on. Lots of effort, not much progress. Now, there's good news that are coming, but I'm first showing you the villains, the troublemakers. Now, you might know this little myth. Why eat less and move more doesn't work. That old advice, eat less, move more, is like telling everyone to wear size medium shoes. Let's assume that's size 10. Sure, it's going to work for most of the people, some people. But what about those who need size 8, who need size 12? We're all built differently, but we've been getting one size fit all advice. It's time to get custom fitted for your weight loss plan. And that just makes sense. We can't be all doing the same: keto, paleo, carnivore, low carb, low fat, intermittent fasting, whatever. It doesn't work because we're all different. Now, there's 3 types of combo genes that we see. The first is about 23%, which is actually the minority, and they're the lucky ones. These are the genetic lottery winners. These are the people who make weight loss look easy. It's like riding a bike down a hill. They can eat birthday cake and still zip up their jeans the next day. Now, if you know someone like this, don't hate them. Keep them as your friends. They just won the genetic jackpot, and it is what it is. So they're the ones that can eat more, stay thin. They can lose weight easily. They do any diet, it just like falls off them. And most diets work for them. Now, I'm assuming most of you that are on here with me now, that didn't happen. So you may be part of the other 2 types. The second type is actually the normal ones. This is the majority of people, about 43% of people. They see results if they stick with the correct plan. These folks are like steady, reliable cars. Not like the Lamborghini on the right there. They like the old Ford from 3 decades ago. They can just go and go and go forever. They may not be the race car, but they get where they're going with consistent effort. Standard diet advice usually works for them. Here's the kicker. It gets trickier as they get older. Think about it. In your 20s, it was cool, wasn't it? You could eat pizza, you could do what you wanted, you didn't have to train much, you kind of kept the good body. Now, 40s, 50s, I'm assuming a lot of you are kind of in that range now. It's a whole lot harder than when you were in your 20s. And that's because you're in this normal range. And the normal range means as we get older, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. So that is where the majority of people are sitting. Now, we've got our third type. These are the strugglers. Oh, man, these are the tough ones. These are the people dealing with genetic speed bumps on their weight loss journey. For them, standard diets are like trying to climb a mountain on a bicycle, like you can see in this picture, that's made for the road. They're going up a bumpy mountain, rocks, whatnot. That is super tough, believe me, being a cyclist myself. Weight loss is just really hard. Even in their 20s, they had weight loss issues. Standard diets usually fail, and they need special approaches based on their genes. So the bottom line is, pop into the chat, just out of curiosity, which type you think you are. Type 1, type 2, type 3. Just put there, 1, 2, or 3. Now, the bottom line is, most people actually never find out. They just keep trying things that weren't designed for their genetic type. And that no longer has to be. Genetic lab testing is actually relatively new. So for a lot of us in our 20s, it didn't exist. Now it does, so there's no excuse. So let's chat about exercise. And exercise, again, is this combo. We can almost put it into 3 different types. You're going to get type 1, which is those that have power genes. They build muscle easily. they were the jock in high school. They don't like cardio. They hate cardio, in fact, and they lose fat better with short, intense workouts. Then we have the endurance genes. These are usually your skinny marathon runner. You'll know them. They can just kind of run forever. They weigh a feather. They build lean muscle slowly. They burn fat with steady cardio. Now, unfortunately, those two groups are actually the minority. The majority actually have mixed genes. And that's the complicated group, because to be able to match them up takes a lot more difficulty to kind of figure out what is working for them. Now, this is me on the bike here, and my genetics are actually in the mixed genes, which means I can do pretty well on the bike. I'm never going to be the best. I'm above average on the bike, but I'm never going to be in the Tour de France. I'm never even going to be on the track going flat out as a speedster. I'm just going to kind of be better than average. And that's because I've been able to train effectively. But in fact, when I train super hard and long, like I did for Leadville in this picture here, I actually put on weight. So for me, I've got to find this mixture of sports that work for me to keep my body fat nice and low. Now, that is tricky for most people. So let's move on now to the supplements. Here's the shocking truth about the supplement industry. It's like a giant guessing game where most people lose, just like lottery. Americans spend $40 billion every year on supplements, but most of it is like buying a lottery ticket. Some supplements are going to hit the jacket for certain people, jackpot for certain people, while others are completely useless. The problem is nobody knows which category they're falling in. The majority, more than the majority of supplements are ineffective, and there's many reasons for this. But one of the biggest reasons is the effectiveness is very necessary for those with certain genes. And for being in the industry for over 30 years now, I have taken all the anxiety away of prescribing supplements, because I can sit with someone's genetics and I can tell them exactly what they need, which supplement for life, because their genetics are inefficient in a certain area. And that's the only way that I can have complete faith in that ability to tell somebody what to do. And that falls in the effective range, because that is science-based, research-based over and over. So imagine supplements like different keys. You've got this locked treasure chest, which is your health goals. But you're trying random keys from a giant keychain. Some keys work perfectly for your lock. Others don't fit at all. Some might even jam the mechanism. Your genes tell us exactly which keys will work for your specific lock. And that's a really great analogy, because you have what we call enzymes in the body, and they need a lock, which is a supplement, to make them work better. So when we have the right key, which is the supplement, you're going to unlock your treasure chest of great health. Now, the bottom line is there's a lot of wasted money. I wouldn't say investment, wasted money. You could be spending hundreds of dollars on supplements your body can't even use properly. And there's many reasons for that. And the bottom line is your genes determine which supplements actually work for you, because they are cofactors in your body. Now, the vitamin that changed your friend's life might do nothing for you if you have different genes. That's as simple as it is. This is one of my pet hates, is protein powders are not for everybody, and it probably cause more issues with my clients than any other supplement. And that's just because it's part of the biggest part of that 40 billion part of the supplement industry. And because it's so massive, there's a lot of junk out there. And I've seen more of our clients with gut issues, diarrhea, skin issues, brain fog from those protein powders, because they choose poor quality, basically. So let's go on to the third part of genes, which is called the timing secret. And this is the clock gene, appropriately named. Now, your body runs on an internal clock. It's almost, think about it like a sophisticated scheduling app. Some people are morning people whose bodies are like efficient morning coffee shops. And that coffee shop's going to close at 12 o'clock because they're only working in the mornings. Everything runs perfectly early in the day, bottom line. Others are night owls whose systems work better in the evening. But here's the kicker. Eating at the wrong time for your genetic clock is like showing up to a meeting 3 hours late. It's just not going to work. It's going to cause trouble. You're going to put on weight. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to get more inflamed and so on. So think of your metabolism like a factory with different shift schedules. The early bird genes have workers who show up bright and early, ready to process food efficiently all morning. Night owl genes have a skeleton crew in the morning, but a full workforce at night. Eating the same meal at different times is like asking the day shift to work at night. It just doesn't work so well. So I hope that makes sense on that gene. That is very important. Timing with exercise and the types of food is the bottom line of getting it right with your genetics. So why doesn't your doctor know about all of this? Well, here's something that might surprise you. Most doctors are like skilled mechanics, but they specialize in fixing engines that are already broken. They're amazing at treating diseases, prescribing medications, but they weren't trained to be genetic counselors or nutrition coaches or functional medicine practitioners. Now, it's not their fault. Medical school just teaches them to be a firefighter, not fire prevention specialists. That's okay. It is what it is. But understand why you haven't come across this and kind of just like, oh, why didn't my doctor tell me about this? So what doctors are definitely not taught? Well, again, medical school is like learning to be a car mechanic, but only focusing on fixing crashes and major breakdowns. They don't teach genetic analysis, personalized nutrition, how to create custom wellness plans. It's like being a master chef, but never learning about different people's taste preferences. They have the skills, just not the specific training for genetic-based weight loss. So just want to clear that up so you understand it. And again, it's not their fault. Medical school just doesn't teach this stuff yet and maybe never. So let me introduce you to Fiona. She spent a whole year in keto, losing only 8 pounds and then gaining it back. It was like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. But when she discovered her genes, she actually needed carbs to burn fat efficiently. Everything changed. She added healthy carbs back, found out cardio worked better for her than the gym, and she lost 35 pounds very quickly. She stopped fighting against her genetic nature and started working with it. Now, this is actually a client of mine from 10 plus years ago. You can see what she looks like there. 2015, which is actually a few months after, this was like late 2014, early, it was like a 3-month period. She had already lost that like 35, 40 pounds. 2025, she actually looks 10 years younger than when she was back then. So this is just great evidence of sticking to a genetic base, shows you a decade down the road that it is sustainable and it's actually healthy as far as longevity goes. You're not aging. She actually looks like she's got younger. So here are some simple questions that you need to be asking yourself. Before you try another diet, ask yourself these game-changing questions. It's almost like being a detective gathering clues about your own body. Do you know if your genes make you a natural fat burner or a fat storer? Do you know what exercise makes your genetic engine purr like a sports car? Do you know which supplements are treasure and which are trash for your specific body? And do you know your body's perfect meal timing? Now, if you answered no to any of these, you're basically flying blind like this bird on the right side. It's going to hit the wall, hit the tree, hit the mountain at some stage, and that's not going to be pleasant. So, here's the deal. Right now, you're basically standing at this huge fork in the road. And honestly, one of these paths is going to make you want to bang your head against the wall. And the other one is finally going to set you free. So let's talk about path one first. And I'm just going to be brutally honest with you here. This is the path where you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm talking about. It's that whole cycle where you see some new diet on Instagram, or your coworker tells you about this amazing thing that worked for her sister's friend. And you think, okay, this is it. This is finally going to work. But here's what really happens. You spend your hard-earned money again. You get all excited for like the first week. Maybe you even lose and see a few pounds drop. And you're thinking, oh my God, finally. But then nothing. Or worse, you start gaining it back. And you're sitting there thinking, seriously, what is wrong with me? You start to like change your whole perspective of yourself. Maybe this is what's meant to be. I mean, think about it. How much money have you already spent? How many times have you cleaned out your pantry, bought all new healthy foods, maybe even signed up for a gym membership you barely used? And where did it get you? You're probably sitting here right now feeling like you've tried everything and nothing works. And the worst part, it's not just about the money. It's about how it makes you feel. You know what I'm talking about. That moment when you're getting dressed, nothing fits right. When someone takes a photo, you immediately want to delete it. Or when you avoid making plans because you just don't want to feel, you just don't feel confident in your own skin. I've seen people on this path for years. They become professional dieters. You know what I mean? They can tell you the carb count or basically everything. They've tried every workout program, but they're still stuck in the same place. Some of them just give up. They tell themselves, well, I guess this is just how I'm supposed to look. And that honestly breaks my heart because it's not true. But then there's path number 2. And this is where things get really exciting. This is like, okay, imagine you've been trying to unlock your phone, but you keep putting in the wrong passcode. You're getting frustrated, right? But then someone shows you the right passcode and you suddenly, boom, everything's open. My life is back. My phone works. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you finally understand your genetics. It's like your body starts making sense for the first time. You're not fighting against yourself anymore. You're working with your body instead of against it. And look, I'm not going to lie to you and say it happens overnight because that would be BS. But what I can tell you is that when you're finally doing the right things for your specific body, like I just showed you with Fiona, everything just clicks. You know that feeling when you're driving and you finally find the right radio station and comes in crystal clear. That's what this feels like. I've watched people transform not just their bodies, but their entire relationship with food, exercise, and themselves. They stop obsessing over every bite. They stop feeling guilty about missing a workout. They actually start enjoying the process because they're seeing real, consistent results. And here's the thing that gets me really excited. Once you understand your genetics, this knowledge is yours forever. You only do it once. Your genes aren't going to change next month. You do it once. Now I've got a plan. Now you got to just stick to the plan. It's as simple as that. That's why I get so excited about this. It's like everybody should just have this from the word go. It would save so much trouble. It's not like some diet plan that you follow for 30 days and then forget about. This is literally understanding how your body works. It's like getting the owner's manual for your own body that you should have had all along when you were born. It's like, here's not your birth certificate, here's your genetics, here's your plan, stick with it, you'll be good. So here's what I want you to really think about. Where do you want to be a year from now? Do you want to still be on the hamster wheel, trying the next trendy diet, hoping this time will be different? Or do you want to be that person who finally figured it out, who looks in the mirror and feels proud, who has energy to do the things they love, who doesn't stress about food anymore? Because honestly, you're going to spend the time and the money either way. You can keep throwing it at things that don't work, or you can invest it one time in actually understanding what will work for you. I know which path I choose. I chose it a long time ago. It's worked. But the question is, which one are you going to choose? So here's what I've created. Think of it as your personal genetic decoder. We'll analyze your DNA like a sophisticated computer program. We'll have a one-on-one consultation. We'll translate your genetic language into plain English. So many people have done Ancestry, 23andMe, and it's like somewhere in some old cupboard because they don't even know how to interpret anything. And then I'll translate your genetic language into whatever language you speak. We can use AI for that. And we'll create a custom blueprint that's as unique as your fingerprint. So here's what you get. First of all, we've got to do the lab test. So you're going to get a comprehensive genetic health kit. It's valued at $500. We'll do a one-on-one genetic review via Zoom, wherever you are in the world, doesn't really matter. That's valued at $600. We'll set up a personalized weight loss protocol for you. Let's call that value $300. We're going to throw in some bonuses here because I'm feeling generous tonight. So that's not all. What we'll do as well is we will give you a genetic-based meal planning. You'll know exactly what to eat, when, how, and what. That's valued at $300. You'll also get access to our genetic metabolic reset course. So you can start to learn more about your genetics and how this works with real-time blood tests and other tests that we do to really fine-tune your health. Genetic testing is the base that we use, and then we expand that and we can monitor it in real time that are we actually working with our genes. And then we will give you a genetic supplement guide to specifically which supplements work for your genetics. So let me go through Sarah. This is one of our clients, and I'll just read exactly what she had told us. I tried everything for 5 years, keto, intermittent fasting, hours of cardio, nothing worked. My genetic test showed I had a fat storage genes. I needed strength training with moderate carbs. She lost 28 pounds in 4 months, and it's actually staying off. Okay, just one of the success stories. I can go through thousands. So just giving you one there. So again, what is included? Again, you need to do your lab test. We need the genetics. That is worth $500. We're going to do a one-on-one with myself or my team. I'll tell you more about that shortly. We'll set up a personalized weight loss protocol for you. We'll set up a genetic meal plan. We'll give you access to our metabolic reset course, and we'll tell you exactly which supplements are needed. The total value of this is around $2,300. That's what we usually charge. Today, because you guys are on the call, we're not going to be doing this again. It's going to be a total of $497. We're basically giving this away just because I want to get the word out there of how valuable this is for your health as a foundational start. So you might be thinking, some of you know me. Some of you go, who's this crazy bald dude? Well, I've been around for about 30 years. I'm a certified functional medicine practitioner. We've been doing genetics since 2007 with our clients. We've done over 100,000 consultations on 5 continents across the globe. And we have coached more than 1,000 doctors and health professionals into functional medicine over the last decade. So we know a thing or two. So this is Michael. Obviously, we coach and train and mentor many doctors. This is one of our physicians. And he says, yeah, I'm a physician. And I was embarrassed that I couldn't lose weight despite knowing everything about nutrition. He actually didn't know much about nutrition, but he thought he did. My genetic test revealed I have slow carb metabolism genes. Once I adjusted my macros based on my DNA, I lost 48 pounds in 8 weeks. You can kind of see the changes on the left here. Pretty dramatic. Okay, let's go through a few frequently asked questions. We will open it up for questions after I'm finished, which will be about another 2 minutes. So, will this work if I've tried everything and nothing has worked? Yes, that's why I'm doing this, because most weight loss failures happen because you're following a plan that doesn't match your genetics. I hope you got that. Once you understand your genetic blueprint, weight loss becomes more predictable. Can there be other hurdles along the way? Absolutely. That doesn't mean that your foundation doesn't need to start with genetics. How is this different from other genetic tests like Ancestry and 23andMe and a bunch of others? Well, we test specifically 72 specific genes that are scientifically and research based around weight loss, metabolism, body composition, and actually many, many more that we can then action into life. What if I've thyroid issues? Many people got thyroid issues. Obviously, if you're gaining weight, you're going to have some kind of thyroid issue. You've got hormonal issues. Well, again, genetic factors often influence thyroid function and hormone metabolism. So understanding your genetics helps us create strategies that will work with your hormonal challenges rather than against them. In other words, if you're doing the wrong food plan, the wrong exercise, the wrong supplements, you're going to make your thyroid and your hormone problems worse. Okay, let's go through some more questions. How long does it take to see weight loss results? Great question. Thanks for asking. Most clients begin seeing changes within 4 to 6 weeks of implementing. So that is going to be the average that we've seen. It's obviously going to be dependent on being consistent, being sustainable with your plan. Do I need to follow a specific diet like keto or paleo? No. Your genetic analysis will reveal whether you do better with higher, lower carbs. We'll figure out exactly what's the right macros for you and be able to tell you when to eat, when not to eat, how to exercise so that you have the optimized plan for you. What if I can't exercise much due to time constraint? Great question. Thanks for asking. Your genetics will show us the most efficient exercise type for you. Here's the kicker. Many of our successful clients have actually needed to do less rather than more exercise. And the ones that weren't doing much, when they started, they saw results because they were doing the right exercise, and that motivated them to keep continuing. Okay, last three. What if I have food sensitivities? Great question. We account for food sensitivities. We're not just looking at your genetics. We're actually going to look at your whole picture. We want to know more about you. What's your current weight? What's your hip circumference? What's your body fat percentage? Are you sleeping well? Are you stressed? We need to know all of that at the same time to combine it with your genetics. So just like food sensitivities, we take all of that into account at the same time. Can I build muscle while losing fat? That's exactly what we're trying to achieve. We will ask you what are your exact weight gain or loss goals and build a plan accordingly. We have many men that come to us and go, I actually want to put on some weight and lose some fat. Perfect. We know exactly how to do that. We've done it many times. And the bottom line is if we're working with genetics, we can do that a whole lot quicker. What if I have a limited budget for supplements? That's exactly why you're here. Your genetics are going to show us the most efficient supplements you need for your health and weight loss. So you're not going to waste any money anymore on junk. You probably got a whole bunch of supplements in the cupboard there. Throw them away because they're expired. They haven't worked for you. You might as well make space for something that is going to work. Okay, so I want to go through like what to expect for those of you that do want to jump in. We'll give you a link shortly to be able to get started. Bottom line is you're going to, once you've done payment, you're going to order, we will order your kit immediately and it's going to be sent. to you. So once you've completed the purchase, you're going to receive your DNA collection kit, and that will be received in a few days. You're going to be able to start your genetic metabolic reset course, immediately. The sample that you're going to give is a blood spot. So it's just simple prick of your finger. We just need a little bit of blood there, blood spot, and boom, we'll send it to the labs. So you will get the lab sample via post. You'll be able to take that blood spot. You're going to be able to send that off within 3 to 5 days. Okay. Then we will receive the results within 3 to 4 weeks. So it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks. At that point, we're going to set up a one-on-one with you and go through your plan. In the meantime, we want you to be in our app, our Executive Health Reset app. This is where our community is. We do weekly talks there. We've got a lot of great posts, a lot of activity, free courses. So in the meantime, we don't want you kind of hanging out anywhere else, but where you should be so you can get the right information while you're waiting for your results to come through. So this is a special deal. Like literally, I'm giving it away here. We won't be doing this offer ever again. So this is just kind of a one-time situation that we will be doing.